What's up, low lives? It's your boy Rhino back with another episode of the Low Life Podcast. Running this show solo today. Danny Boy had to work late. And we already recorded yesterday. So I think this one's coming out on the 11th. I'm actually recording it on the 1st. Got a bunch of fucking shit I'm trying to get done for our show. And then we have the motherfucking Independence Day holiday. I want to enjoy that weekend. So cramming them in. And plus, I haven't really been keeping up with the hood rat story. So I went and polled everybody over there. If you're not signed up, go sign up. $10 a month, be a hood rat. And you'll be supporting our chopper show, but you'll also be supporting this podcast. And you get an opportunity to get your own episode. So hopefully I'll have an episode of Hood Rat Stories before this show comes out. But hopefully we launched our show on the 4th of July, like true blue-blooded Americans. And I'm hoping at this point, I'm absolutely fucking having a panic attack because we have so many people, so many submissions for the show. So it's a little weird to do a show before like the other show comes out. So I don't know what the fuck is happening with that, but hopefully it's blown up like a goddamn volcano. And we have 500 people interested in fucking building choppers and shit, and it's gaining steam. But first, I'm going to do shows, sponsors, and shout outs. Number one shout out is the Hood Rats. What a cool group of dudes. I actually really I missed May, missed June, because those months just got away from me. But I'm going to do a little catch up, and maybe we'll do some roundtable shit. Do like three or four guys at a time. But shout out to them because they fucking keep this show going, keep me motivated. They're the ones out there, not just, giving us money to pay for the fucking equipment and the subscriptions and all that shit, but they're the ones that are commenting and sharing our stories and shit. They're just like really into this and into the community. So appreciate the fuck out of you guys. Uh, shows coming up. All right. So I think this is coming out on the 11th. So tomorrow we got Shady at Katie's in Chepachet, Rhode Island, 7/12 at noon. So July 12th at noon. I've never been able to make it down there. I won't be able to make it down there probably tomorrow either, but I'm going to be probably on an IV drip because I'm going absolutely hard as a motherfucker at the Woo show. So right now you're listening to this. I'm on my way down to the Garden in Boston. Me and my old school Woo heads, we're getting fucking shit faced. We're probably gonna smoke some weed, and then we're gonna party your fucking asses off. Probably die. So when you listen to this, it might be my last day on Earth. So 7/12 might be out of the picture for me, but I would love to get down to Rhode Island. I guess I'm gonna be in Boston when I wake up. So I might be able to get there for noon. But anyways, Shady at Katie's. I heard it's an awesome time. I think this is the second or third year they've done it. But check it out if you're in the Rhode Island area. Chepachet. Please, if someone's from Rhode Island, and we're butchering that name, just let us know the pronunciation. Next big show is going to be the Deadbeat Summer Bash. So Deadbeat Custom Summer Bash. It's their one and only bike night this year. So it's going to be at Harley Davidson, their new dealership on 100 Technology Drive. That's going to be 7/18. That's a Friday night, I believe. And they're going to have the 603 Vertical Boys, the Stunty guys. They're going to be doing a ride-in bike show. Unfortunately, Dan and I won't be able to make it because at the same time, I'm going to be down at the Middle East for the Way show. That I told Dan I was going to go to a hardcore show. I don't know if this constitutes me going to a hardcore show. I don't know much about that type of music, but anyways, I'm going to a live music concert with Dan. So I think I fulfilled my obligation there, and who knows, I might love it. So if you can't make it out to, or if you already bought your tickets for that show, look forward to seeing you there. And if you're looking for some motorcycle shit to do, definitely I mean, dude, Harley Davidson dealership, if you haven't gone there, go check it out because fucking it's immaculate. It's brand new. It's beautiful. And Deadbeat puts on awesome bike nights. Like, what the fuck? It's like you get to watch dudes do fucking like stunts and shit on a Friday night in a Harley Davidson parking lot. It's fun as fuck. And plus everybody that works at Harley that I know that works there is fucking awesome. You know, I'm sure Fish Tank's gonna be there and shit. All right, so the same weekend, Deadbeat's also involved in the Holy Blacks Hot Rod Block Party. I'm gonna say that really fast. Holy Blacks Hot Rod Block Party, 720. That's a Sunday in Lindenhurst, New York. I don't know where that is, but hot rods, block party. These are all keywords that are getting me excited about this. Plus, Deadbeat's adding like a custom motorcycle component to it. So this is a well-established event. I've never been to it. I'm not a huge hot rod guy, but if there's hot rods, I'll go fucking check them out. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at most of the time, but Holy Black's Hot Rod Block Party. Wow, that was fucking good. 720 Lindenhurst, New York. Check it out. The other show that you're not going to want to miss is obviously the Deadbeat Retreat. I was actually looking today. This show, its inception was the Deadbeat Retreat 7 years ago this month. 7 motherfucking years. So they had I think it was like the second show. They had the first show, it was like Grease Loctite and CP or CJ or something. And then the second show was like the Deadbeat recap. So really the show was born out of that event 7 years ago. And it was in a totally different place. I think that year it was at like a bar or something. And they camped in a graveyard. But I believe it's next week or the week after is going to be 7 years in this bitch for Lowlifes. Okay, that's a long fucking time. I don't even know how many years I've been doing this. 2? I think I did the 5-year recap and the 6-year recap. So maybe I'm going on 2.5, 3 years. I don't fucking know. But Deadbeat Retreat is going to be August 22nd through 24th. We are going to be doing a ride from somewhere in New Hampshire. We're going to have a starting point. And it's going to be Friday morning, like probably mid-morning, 10, 11 or something like that. And everybody's invited on that ride. I don't give a fuck what you ride. I'm going to be probably riding a Softail, maybe a Sporty Chop by that time. But I don't give a fuck what you ride. I don't care if you have a fucking dirt bike. If you want to ride in a big group of dudes, everybody's welcome. We'll put out the details on our page about when we're going to be leaving for that and the route we're going to be taking. But we're definitely going to be leaving Friday. So you got to take Friday off work. Go tell your boss you got better shit to do. You're not going to be listening to his fucking bullshit that day. On August 22nd, you're all out of fucks to give. You're going to be doing motorcycle shit. It's a wicked fun ride. It's a nice long ride, right? So it's in the Catskills at the Blackthorn Resort. So I don't know, depending on how many breakdowns you have or fucking tornado warnings along the route, it's like a good 3-4 hours. And we've done it. We're old salts now. We know to avoid Albany and their fucking cobblestone crosswalks. But yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing a ride. I'll put out the details. Everyone's invited, and we'll probably say like DM for address for the meetup if it's gonna be at my house or some shit. I think we left from my house last time, because it's on the way, but who knows? So, yeah, Deadbeat. It's gonna be a fun time. We're gonna be doing a belly flop competition by the pool. I believe there's gonna be a band by the pool too, because Steve said something about it being loud. I don't give a fuck. We're just partying though, so I'm not worried about gathering content and all that shit. We're just partying. We're gonna be out there. I'm probably gonna have a Hawaiian shirt on, throw it way back. You know what I mean? Remember that? Tropical chops, Hawaiian tees. I think I might bring that back. I'm a Hawaiian shirt guy. I love the Hawaiian shirt. They're fucking comfy as fuck. And they're perfect for a big fat guy like me. You just let your belly hang out and it's not disgusting. You're just like, oh, that guy's having a good time. That looks like fun. So I think we're going to bring back the Hawaiian shirts to identify ourselves as lowlives. But yeah, we're going to be partying. I always have a great time. It's always such a great crowd of people, and there's so many fucking people that go. And the best thing about the Blackthorn too is they have it's a motorcycle friendly place. So there's dudes and gals there that don't even know about like this culture. And they're just there. They're like rode their bike up, a guy and his wife or whatever. They're just camping and shooting the breeze. And then they're like, what the fuck is going on here? What's all this cool shit? So definitely make it out to that. Definitely ride up with us if you can, if you're in the area. And if not, find us. I got a cabin somewhere. So right along, I mean, I always stay like right along the main open field there. And you'll see me kicking around. I'll definitely have beer in my hand or a cocktail of some sort, and come kick it. Come and hang out. I think it's important too. If you're a solo dude, and again, I'm putting this out there because I was a weirdo. I didn't have any chopper friends fucking 5 years ago. I was on an island by myself. The only thing I had really was this show, like that connection. Um, and then the Deadbeat Retreat is where you get to meet all these people in person. You get to spend a lot of time with them and shit. And if you're a cool dude and you're like, man, I want to know more about chops and this sounds like fun, but I'm too scared to go by myself, I just please do it. It really changed the trajectory of my life. Like that first time I was just like, all my friends fucking bailed. I had guys that had like fat bobs and shit that were going to come with me, and they all bailed like a bunch of bitches. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking done with you guys. I'm done with those people that don't meet their commitments to their own friends. We joke about it like, oh, yeah, chopper guys, when they ride, like the week before, there's like fucking 10 people. And then the day of, there's fucking only one. That's not cool, dude. Go ride with your friends. If you say you're going to fucking ride somewhere, I don't give a fuck if you got a belly ache or whatever fucking shitty excuse you have. Go ride with your fucking friends. This life is so short, and some of the best times I've ever had, definitely, like outside of my immediate family that I created with my dick, um, have been out on the road with friends, being goofballs and laughing. So don't be afraid. If you're a friend of the show and you listen to the show and you're a solo dude and you're cool, or even if you don't think you're cool, that's even better. I love nerds, dude. I don't think I'm super cool. You know, uh, I'm definitely not a social butterfly, but I'll tell you what, if you're if if you're a low life dude, you're welcome to hang out with me. You know what I mean? So, make the trip. Fuck your normie friends, dude. There was a point in my life that I was just like, if you don't fucking ride motorcycles, if you're not into choppers and shit, I don't have time for you. You know what I mean? Between like, I have kids and shit, that takes up a lot of fucking time. I have a job, takes up a lot of fucking time. I have to sleep. That's like 8 hours a night at least. I don't have time. I don't want to fucking hang out with people that aren't into motorcycles. What are we gonna do? Drink beer and talk about what? Like like the new chimney you're putting on your house? Fucking boring, dude. So ditch all your boring friends. Come hang out with the chopper guys. They're the best. Chopper people are the best. Whatever you're into, there's sober guys, there's drug doing dudes, there's drinking dudes, like whatever your bag is, there's the choppers is what brings them all together. You know what I mean? And we love all types, we don't give a fuck if you're gay or trans or fucking, like if you're into choppers and you're cool, like you're accepted. So that's what I love about the community. And again, I'm just going on and on about this just because it was so important to me to know that someone had my back and someone extended their arm and like threw it around me when I needed that. You're not all alone, dude. So anyways, I guess that's kind of a buddy check. I don't know, there's some lonesome dudes. We'll just say this is a buddy check for all you lonesome chopper dudes. You got a friend in me. That was fucking gay. But anyways, Toy Story 3 is one of the best movies ever made. Um, Dude, I watched Toy Story 1 like maybe a couple of years ago, and I didn't cry, but like my eyes, it was like I was peeling onions. But I just got hit by a little bit of the onion juice. So I wasn't like weeping, but goddamn Randy Newman. That dude knows how to score a movie. All right, so I talked a little bit about it, but the Idle Hands show. The Idle Hands Chopper Comp and Show. It's a competition. Comp is short for competition. We got 3 celebrity judges. Well, technically 4. We're counting EasyCo as 1. John and Craig over there, EasyCo, they're going to be the judges. The first vote is going to be in October. The other judge that we have is John Moorhead from Long John Chopper Co. Just go look at the quality of bikes that motherfucker does, and the love for this community and the integrity that he has. Plus, he's a barrel of monkeys to hang out with. I only hung out with him, I think, once in person, but even when we did it, go check out his episode that he did with Bubba. That was a fucking blast, dude. So, anyways, he's a chopper dude through and through. And then finally, our boy Truth, Big Truth from Chop Ahead. I'd say he is the authority on choppers in America. I don't know what they have like in other countries or whatever, but as far as American motorcycle, go check out if you go and see a Chop Ahead build, they're perfect in every way. There's nothing scuffed on them. There's no oil drip. They're perfect. So, anyways, those are our 3 celebrity judges, and hopefully we got a fuck ton of motivated motherfuckers. And again, if you're one of those guys that bails on chopper trips and you tell your friends you're going to meet them on Saturday and then you make up some bullshit excuse, if you're one of those motherfuckers about building a bike in the show, pull up your panties. You got the rest of this month to fucking get your shit together. There's 1,000 excuses not to do it, but I'll give you one excuse to do it. This might be the one and only shot you got. I don't know if this show is going to be a big hit. This might be something big that we're onto here, and you could be part of the first inaugural Idle Hands show. And don't miss it out. Just make it happen. That's what chopper guys do. You got no money? Fuck you. I'll get it when I need it. You know, if you just have a fucking frame that's uncut, you're automatically in. You have 4 more months to get your shit together, to get that hardtail, to rack up those credit card bills, you know? So I implore you, I don't know, again, maybe I should be telling people to pump the brakes. I don't know if we have 1,000 submissions, because again, I'm doing this before we launch the fucking show. So if we have like 1,000 people in this competition already, just wait till next year. Okay. But I'll tell you what, if we don't get enough people in the show, it's not happening. I'm not going to do it with 10 fucking dudes, and I'm not going to be bending over backwards. We want to have a big competition. We want to make this a great thing. So please, if you're on the fence, get the fuck off the fence. Come over to this side of the fence. Let's build fucking choppers together. It's going to be fucking fun. Okay. Go check out if you want to donate for the cash prizes. And again, I love myself some cash, dude. If it's my birthday, give me some cash. Don't put cash in a card. That's the best. I don't want a gift card. It doesn't matter to me if you thought about my present or not. Just give me cold hard cash. I love it. All right. We want to give cash to the winners. So we want to generate as much as humanly possible. I have a GoFundMe. It's going to be in the show notes. It's going to be on our link in our bio. I set that up, and you can donate fucking whenever, however much you want. You know, every single penny of that is going to go to the winners of this competition. I set it at like 10,000. We can always raise it if we make more than that, but I figure I would be fucking extremely happy to do $5,000 for first place, 2,500 for second, 1,000 for first, something like that. And then we're having 2 shows, so we're gonna have the main show, and then we're gonna have the reprieve show, where we're also gonna have a winner, and we might have a cash prize if we can raise enough money. So, throw in $1, throw in $20, whatever you can afford. And if you can't do it now, it's gonna be running until the show is live, right? So a whole year to fundraise and make money. Plus, we're going to be reaching out and doing sponsors and doing raffles throughout the year. Man, I should talk to an accountant. I don't know. It sounds like we might be able to make a fuck ton of money, which would just be awesome. You know what I mean? Imagine if we could raise 10,000 just for the number one winner of the show, right? In the main show, 10 grand, big fucking check. That would be so cool. To pay for the fucking build that you just did, or to fund the next build, you know? If you're that guy, this could be your big chance, you know? Take the chance, right? And everybody wins. There's no losers. That's the best part. You might not win the money, but guess what? You get a fucking awesome chopper. And you get to put it in the show, regardless of whether you get picked or not. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. Everybody's going to win. And, you know, some people win more than others. But I just want to see everybody out there. I want to see some fucking heat in the Northeast, and I'll be happy. Plus, we're gonna do some other fun shit. Me and Dan were talking about some sort of art competition too. Like not exactly the same, but just an example of something that was cool is those sissy bar art that shout out fucking 812 Inc. Motherfucking Jerry. What a cool concept, we'll do like some sort of concept art show like that and get even more people involved. We just wanted to have a fucking gay old time and make it, shine a big old bright spotlight on all these people that are in their garage building fucking motorcycles. It's a dying art. Like there's less and less people are getting into it. I don't think it's growing at this point. I think it's definitely shrinking. So yeah, let's get people motivated. Let's get people into it. If you have friends that maybe they don't listen to the show, maybe they don't know what a fucking chopper is, but they are into bikes, you can coax them, right? You can be like, hey, dude, I know you think your Dyna's cool, but check this out. Show them pictures of cool bikes, like choppers and shit, and get them over to the dark side. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. We are going to be, I'm going to be with Death Resistance. He is the Honda Shadow guy that won the Kustom Social. It was the low life pick at the Kustom Social. He had a little slingshot on it. We're going to talk all about this bike. It's amazing and can't wait to dig into it. So without further ado, I'm going to pause this and invite on our friend Death Resistance. All right, guys, we are back with Steve Death_Resistance on Instagram, the winner of the Kustom Social Lowlife Pick. What's up, Steve? How you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Great, man. So yeah, we've been gushing over this Honda. It's a what is it? It's a Honda Shadow 600, is it?
Yeah, it's a VLX or VT 600. I'm not sure. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I got that bike. Let me see. So story with that bike is I lived in Boston for like 10 years. Lived in an apartment. I just like started getting this itch to like build shit. I used to be really into like four wheeling, like Toyota trucks. And I built a few trucks, a lot of like grinding, welding, like sticking metal together. It's like super fun. But I started getting this itch. I wanted to like build something, so I bought a CB750 with the idea of making a cafe racer. And I had no interest in cafe racers at the time, but I don't know. I just wanted to like build something, and I was like really into motorcycles. Um, and I buy this thing, and it sits in my backyard for a little bit. I buy a welder from my
Yeah, where
buddy's
in
dad.
Boston were you living? Because I was gonna say, like, did you have
Oh,
a garage?
so I was in Somerville. I got like a carport tent
Oh, okay.
set up in the backyard. Put like lights in it. I had like one of those like jet heaters. Like you could like work in that thing for like half hour in the winter until like you start getting sick and you have to like open the window and like let the all my tools got like wicked rusty like
Was it a propane or kerosene?
propane.
Yeah, dude, propane. It gets moist. Yeah.
Yeah, everything gets wet.
Yep.
Even my garage now, I will turn that same propane heater on in the garage and I'll heat the garage to like over 100 degrees and just like heat everything
Shit.
in the garage, and then I'll like open all the windows and let all the gas out,
Yeah.
and it'll pretty much maintain. But yeah, everything gets wet. My TV in there is fried because like all the circuits got wet
Oh
and
fuck.
like
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I had a propane heater and it heats up fucking fast,
yeah,
really efficient, but the byproduct of burning propane is H2O or whatever. So it's like everything gets moist. And it is poisonous. So if you just run that bitch in your garage with everything closed in the dead of winter, you will die.
yeah, it makes you feel a little funny for sure.
Kind of like huffing paint.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in this little thing. And did you build that thing into a cafe racer?
So thankfully, no. Thank God. I mean, I wanted to go cafe racer because like I want to go fast, right?
Yeah.
Like, CB750, they're not super fast. I think they have like 80 horsepower, like 75, something like that. more than any of the shadows. I've had like a bunch of shadows uh, up till then. Um, but so about a year before that, unfortunately, a friend of mine who had a little 600 shadow, he crashed it and unfortunately died.
Holy shit.
Um, so uh, right as I was about to build that CB750, I got a call from a friend. He says, you know, a friend of his has Steve's old bike. Um, it's been sitting behind a garage for a year. Do I want it? I ended up calling his dad. I talked to his dad. I'm like friends with his dad now, which is really cool. So I went and picked up this bike in this van that we had, and that's that bike. So
No
it was kind
shit.
of yeah, it was kind of like a build of passion. It was just it was cool, just being able to like think about Steve the whole time, and like we'd gone to like a couple shows, like I think we went to like a Madhouse show, and he didn't really know a whole lot about bikes. Like he got that bike like straight up because of my shadow. Um, because I like ripped by him in his little was it like a Nissan Sentra like Type R or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was that hot like yellow Sentra with the black hood, like came stock like that. But
Mhm.
anyway, uh, I'd rebuild his carbs on that bike like a couple days before he crashed it. Um, but so that's where the name of the bike comes from. His last name's Salazar.
Yeah, what
So
is the name of the bike?
Salazar.
Oh, Salazar. Okay.
Yeah. So he was Steven Salazar was his name.
Shit.
Fucking awesome kid. It was funny. He like going to the shows. He was saying like, his dad's always ridden. His dad's always had Harleys. He's like, I really want to like ride this bike to Texas, and I want to make it like faster than my dad's Harleys. And I was like, dude, it's never gonna happen. But like, let's work,
Yeah.
let's work with what you got.
Yeah. It's a stepping stone. I had a Honda Shadow for a minute. Not a 600 though. Um, is that I'm trying to remember. It's chain driven, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
one of the few chain driven Hondas.
Right, because a lot of them
Uh,
are the shaft drives, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one thing that lends makes it like very easy. Like you can get one of those things, like throw the front fender on the rear, put a little sissy bar on it, put a peanut tank on it, and you're like, you know, halfway there.
Yeah.
Um, of course, it has a double dual top tube. I decided I hated that, and I cut that off and did a single top tube on it. Um,
So
but
it had
yeah, I
a
mean, I remember,
like the down the backbone. It has
yeah, the
double tubes.
backbone. It was a dual backbone.
Oh
So I just
fuck.
cut it like from the neck back to the rear swing arm, and then all the pipes I got. What was that place? Metal Supermarket. Pro tip: Metal Supermarket in Woburn. That place is the shit. They have a cut room, so you can just like walk into that place and be like, "Can I go to the cut room?" And you just like walk into the cut room, and there's just shelves and shelves of like pipes, like stainless pipes, all sorts of different pipes, like sheet metal, and I think it's like cost, like it's close to cost. Um,
Oh
so
fuck.
I I used to work in Woburn. Um,
Dude, so they have like you can get stainless steel pipe there?
yeah, yeah, metal supermarkets in Woburn.
That's a hot
If
tip,
if
dude, for New
if
England
anybody's
dudes.
in the area, you gotta check that place out, and they're pretty friendly to like the little guy. They feed bigger places, but that cut room is every time I go there, I go in and I just like grab a bunch of shit and
Are they all
load
just
it up.
straight pipe that you cut?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Just like a bunch of like offcuts,
Oh no shit.
like even up to like I have like half inch or like inch thick steel plates that like I shoot in my backyard from them that I got for like nothing, and like
That's fucking awesome.
all sorts of cool shit like
Yeah,
that.
because they just have shit like if they're supplying industrial places or whatever, for motorcycles, you just need tiny little things, tiny little pieces. For
Yeah.
them, it's scrap, you know?
Yeah, and they seem like very cool about like the home builder type stuff. I think they might have like something on their website you can like put um your project up and
Oh,
I don't
no
know,
shit.
tag them or whatever.
That's really
I'm not
cool.
sure. Yeah.
No shit. So, were you still in Somerville when you started building that out of that little pop up?
Oh, actually no. So I was in JP when I started that bike.
Ah,
Um,
Jamaica Plains.
oh yeah, yeah. I lived in JP for a while. You know, JP, Rosendale, Somerville, back to JP. Um, I loved the city. It was awesome.
They're all,
I
yeah, they're
had
all basically, for people not from New England,
yeah,
it's basically Boston. Boston is so tiny, like Boston proper, that all these suburbs are essentially, it's Boston, you know?
yeah. Boston is really small.
Yeah. Like
You
nobody,
go to
people don't
you
like
go to
live in Boston anymore. It's all like, I mean, like everybody
yeah,
lives outside. Everybody works there, but they live outside.
yeah, yeah. You go to New York and you realize how small Boston really is.
Dude, you can
Um,
walk Boston. You can walk Boston in a day. Like we did a pub crawl. I used to live there in the South End.
mhm,
Um, and we did a couple pub crawls, but one of them we went and like we started off drinking big fish bowls at the aquarium for breakfast. They have these like big fish. It's a fish tank full of booze for breakfast, and then you can walk. You can go down to the harbor. Uh,
mhm,
you know, North End, South. We ended. I lived in the South End, so we went North End. We went to fucking Chinatown, all that shit, and you can walk it and go
yep,
to every area in Boston, Take you all day, but
yeah. You can like I used to. So I worked around the Navy Yard. So you could go park your car in the Navy Yard, and then you could get a ferry, and the ferry was like I think it was like 250 or something. This was a while ago. But I doubt it's very expensive now. But you could take the ferry from the Navy Yard into Boston. It would bring you to the around the aquarium, and it was cool. Like especially if you come in at night, like all the lights of the city. It's beautiful. Really good date idea.
yeah.
Uh, Go get some like clams, whatever. Uh, and then walk back like through the locks. Like just walk back to the Navy Yard, and it makes a good night. Makes really cheap good night.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you? I mean, that's a great idea for if you're in. Take someone. If you, a lot of people from the other side of the country, they're like, I've never really been to New England. You should definitely go to Boston. If you have a wife or you're bringing a girlfriend or whatever, it's a cheap date because you can just walk that fucking city. It's gorgeous. You can do the Freedom Trail. It's all brick and shit, and you can go through the entire city, and there's no shortage of shit to look at. You know what I mean? You're not
Mm-hmm.
just like it's so small. Everything's like condensed, um, and it's all like super historic and shit. I'm actually so I think this is gonna come out on the 11th this month. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm actually gonna be in Boston. I'm going to the Garden to watch the Woo concert.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Really
this might
like.
be the last time you guys hear my voice because I'm going hard.
So you can park in the Navy Yard and walk through the locks. So the locks is like you park in the Navy Yard and you like walk past. I think it's like a Marriott hotel, and then you're walking right towards the that big bridge. What is it called? Uh, that bridge that you go into down 93. Kind of cool looking. You walk towards
Yeah.
that. You take a left and you go over these like locks, and that puts you like right at the garden.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I used to do that commute, dude. I for a while I lived in Boston, and worked in New Hampshire, so I'd go over.
yep.
I don't know what they call it now because they changed, like the governors changed the names of shit. But they used to have, I think it was like the Zachem or something at one
Yeah, it's a
point.
Zakum. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah, and yeah, the garden's like right fucking there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude, that place is it's so cool. Like the other thing is too is that, like you don't have to park in Boston. Like the T system is super simple, so you can park outside in one of the suburbs and hop on the T and just zip in. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah, I commuted from my house in Loudon to Woburn for a while after we lived here, a couple years, and it was fine at first. I didn't mind
Dude, that's a
because there was no
haul.
traffic. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like about 75 miles both ways.
Yep.
When we first moved up here, I really thought I needed like the most like badass bike, so I bought like my dream bike at the time, which was the BMW K1600B Grand America, like 6 cylinder bike. The thing was just
What
a,
is that,
a
like a dual sport or
monster.
something, or is it like a?
No, it's a sport touring bike.
Oh,
It rips. I think it's got like 160 horsepower. I like tune. I put a tune in it so because to get rid of the governor because the governor was ridiculous. Um,
the governor in it.
yeah, because I don't know what the hell BMW was thinking. They made that bike, and then to appeal to the American crowd, they made it into like a bagger. So they put like cool looking like bags on the side with like these LED lights, and they put like a trunk on the back and like these like foot pads. But they made the bike like really unstable.
Oh no
Uh,
shit.
so I kind of eventually ended up like it was fine up to like 75, but like dude, you do that commute every day, you end up kind of going faster and faster.
Oh yeah.
So like, I would go too fast. Uh, but I ended up like kind of like I took the bag off. I took the side foot pads off.
Are
I
you
like
lane
changed the
splitting?
windshield. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Dude, because the traffic like that. So going over the bridge into the tunnel is the worst traffic I've ever been in my entire life. At certain times, it can be that bad. Like there'll be a car accident or something, like a pretty serious one, and you're sitting in traffic for like 3 hours. It can be really fucking bad in a car, but yeah, on a
Yeah.
bike, and it is definitely not legal to lane split. I'm sure you
Yeah,
got
but you know
yelled at
what?
too because Boston people are
Oh yeah,
fucking pissed.
boss. They'll try to cut you off. They'll throw shit at you, but you know what thing will not happen is you will not get pulled over by the cops. They don't
There's
give a
nowhere for
fuck.
them to sit. They're not
They
in the
got
mix.
yeah. There's nowhere for them to go. They got better shit to do. I used to dream as a kid of like where I could like go and just drive however I wanted and not like have to take that stupid class every like 6 months. And it's Boston. You can just do whatever you want there.
You kind of have to get around. Like
Yep.
I don't even get fucking like road. You don't even nobody's like even road raging. They're just you have to drive super aggressively to get anywhere. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you'll definitely get pulled over in like Cambridge, like parts of Somerville, but usually you can just do whatever the fuck you want,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
True.
and I did.
Yeah. That's sick, dude. Dude, I would have been like, I would have been scared to lane split because again, mass holes, dude. They'll run you over. They don't give a fuck. But the feeling you must have had zipping through all that fucking shitty traffic. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the reasons why I kind of fell in love with bikes is because like when I got into bikes, I rode for like the first 3 years like pretty much every day, rain, shine, all through the winter. Did not fucking care. I had like heated everything. Like I'd get on my bike and plug all my shit in, like heated pants, heated gloves, um, because it would make that miserable ride
Yeah.
enjoyable. I remember one time I was going into work and I come around the last corner into work and it was just like black ice, like so bad that I was like pushing my feet against the ground like as hard as I could
Oh
and
fuck.
just like sliding them. And I I remember I had to shit like so fucking bad, and all I could think about was like, if I crash, don't poop my pants. Like over and over again in my head, I'm like, just don't shit.
I
Like
think
I'm
it's out of your
almost
hands at
there.
that point. Yeah. Dude, I feel the same way. I've been there too, and motorcycles kind of shake it out of you too. It doesn't help the situation. But dude, yeah, that's sick. All right, you were building this bike. How did you, I guess, from how it looks today, was it essentially stock when you first got it and a little fucked up?
Yeah, it was stock and you know everything was fucking broken.
Yeah.
As far as I know, the frame wasn't bent. The forks weren't bent. Still got the original forks on it. Of course, like the wheels were bent. All the like the half the foot pegs were like sheared off. Um, and I like stripped it down and kind of like looked at it for a couple days and got that welder out and like I'm no prima ballerina with a welder, but I just kind of like took a couple pieces of metal and like welded them together and just like
This
put
MIG
them in a
welding
vise.
or TIG?
MIG, all MIG, the
MIG.
whole thing is MIG. I
MIG.
have a TIG now, but I'm no good at it. I haven't really gotten a lot of chance to practice with it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just like pounded the shit out of them with a hammer until like the tube broke and the weld didn't break, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Fuck
Like,
yeah, dude.
just started cutting into the thing, and the pipes all got from that metal supermarket. Of course, I didn't have a bender. I had to like, I found a guy in Woburn to bend the pipes for the hardtail and like the big single tube, so it's like it goes from the neck and then it gets down to like right behind the tank and then it goes down and then like halfway down that's where the motor attaches. Of course, I didn't have like I picked like a pretty gnarly pipe because everyone's telling me this is like a fucking terrible idea. Like I worked with a bunch of welders and they're like, don't do this. Like you're gonna fucking kill yourself. But I found this guy who builds roll cages. The guy was wicked cool. I wish I remembered his name. I like drove my little Miata to his house and he did that one bend for me. And he like wouldn't even take any money for it. We just kind of like shot the shit. He was like really cool. He had a bunch of like Subarus and stuff. Um, but yeah, I just started like welding it together um, and I didn't like a lot of my inspiration came from like Lane Spit Boulevard. Um, I liked like Halearization, whatever that girl's name is. She just like
Yeah,
does
Haley,
whatever the
yeah.
fuck she wants, and
Just says
like the
fun shit, yeah.
yeah, it's just like nothing's wrong. That's kind of what like made me like really interested in the choppers is because like no one can really tell you that you're doing it wrong. You can just do
Right.
whatever the fuck you want, you know.
Yeah, I'm not
And
part of
like yeah, it's
the those circles, but I feel like FXR guys or like, Dyna guys, their bikes kind of all look kind of the same and they have the same fast bits on them. Like they're just like, oh, this is because it's performance based. So they're like, yeah, this is the best one of these. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whereas Choppers is more artistic, I guess. Nobody's like, I don't know. People aren't like performant. They don't get like really stoked on the performance. They're like, that's fucking weird. How did you build that? Or where'd you find that type of shit?
yeah. I mean, bikes, they're different for everyone. Like everyone's got like different opinions on, the stock guys. Oh, keep a stock, or like,
Yeah.
everyone, and it's the same thing for choppers. Like people are into choppers for like wildly different reasons. Like
True.
some people just want to buy them and look at them. Some people want to like ride them. Some like I personally, I could never ride a chopper that I didn't build. It's just like that's the whole thing, you
Yeah.
know. Like I'm riding my like shitty little bike down the road. It's like such a piece of shit, but like I'm still like so proud to be
Right.
on this like little pile of garbage that's like making all this noise and like wobbling around on you and like
True.
um
Yeah. And you got to trust yourself. You're like, if you buy a chopper from someone else, you're kind of like, hopefully this guy's good. If you do it,
yeah.
that you have that in your mind as you're doing it. Like you're like, is that good enough for me? Like, do I trust that weld enough, or do I trust that like torque spec enough that I'm gonna? Because you're the one that's gonna be on it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't trust myself at all.
Yeah.
Like I probably have like, you know, that bike I probably have like $2,000 into, but I probably have another $2,000 into that bike of just fuck ups,
Oh
like
yeah.
tires that didn't work out, things that like I did to it and ended up like not liking about it. Like just the other like a couple days ago, I like looked at my coolant overflow that I spent a lot of time on, decided I hated it, and it's coming off. I'm doing something else, you know. It's just and that's the fun. It's just like welding shit to it and cutting it off and moving it or doing something else, and it just like you could just do whatever the fuck you want, you know. And
Yep.
um I mean, people, I mean, I guess I can say nobody will tell you you're wrong. People will, understandably. I mean, my bike is, you know, I know it's not for everyone. Like I think you guys were talking about it, saying like I looked surprised, and like I was surprised. I went, you know, I think I was listening to your show with Big Truth, and I thought I remembered, you know, working and listening to the podcast at the same time. And I thought I remembered him saying that like anyone could come with their bikes and there's gonna be like free parking, like primo parking. So we go and like, all right, this is a spot. We end up like going right into this like big tent. People are kind of like partying around you. My buddy, he's on a gold wing, and we're just like pulling into the show, and we really quickly realize that like to park there, you're parking in the show.
Right.
So we just like signed up. Like I
Yep.
signed up, he signed up his Goldwing, like put his Goldwing in the corner. A bunch of dudes came over and talked to him about it, you know.
Gold wings are
Um,
really interesting to me because they're when I look at them, I feel like I'm looking at an alien spacecraft. Like they're so advanced in so many different ways. There's so much to them, you know.
yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at here? What does this
yeah.
thing do?
Goldwings are cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I love Goldwings. I never had one, but like I did get. I almost bought one a bunch of times. And someday I probably will. His is like one of the really older ones that it came like naked, and then they put like I think it's like a windjammer thing on the front.
That just sounds
It
cool.
it looks sick, dude. I like it a lot.
That's what I like about gold wings is they're just weird. Like, yeah, I got the wing jammer. I'm like, like what the
Yeah,
fuck, dude?
yeah,
Yeah. There's a dude that rides a gold wing like around my town. He's a character, dude. If he catches you at the fucking gas station, you're there for a half an hour. But he wears a cowboy hat. It's all painted like red, white, and blue. He's had it since
nice,
like '88. You know, he's
nice.
been to Sturgis. He's done all the things, but he just fucking loves that thing to death. You know, and a lot of dudes that are Goldwing guys, they're just like they fall in love and they're like, I'm a Goldwing guy.
Yeah, yeah. If I get a Goldwing, my one like I'm not buying it unless it has pinstripe on it.
Oh yeah,
Like I just want to pick the Goldwing that has the coolest pinstripe on it, and I'm just gonna buy that one. You know,
yeah,
it'll
dude.
probably be free, and it'll come with another one for parts. You know, or it'll be like $300.
Dude, the storage on those things is insane,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I pulled it. This fucking cowboy opens up his like I don't know what they call it. It's a big old thing on the back of it. It's like dude. It's like a fucking having a trunk. You know, like he opened it up,
yep,
dude, and there was like there was. I'm pretty sure I saw a hooker, like a dead hooker in there. Like you can fit a body in the back of a gold wing. But
yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah, you guys rode in. What time did you get to the show?
I don't know. I think it was like maybe like what time did it start? Like 6. I think maybe it was like 6:30 or something. Oh no, no, I can't remember. It was
Started
like a
at
half hour.
11, yeah, or
It was
noon.
like a half hour, or an hour after it started. But I mean, I don't know. We were the last people there,
Okay.
and we really wanted to go to there's a different show. That place, Dancing Rabbit Vodka. I don't know if you've ever been there. That place is sick. I feel like it's like slept on.
Where is
Um,
it? Like around the strip, or
it's so there's like the strip, and then there's like another road that goes like parallel with it, like where like high octane is, and then that road that goes across that road. Oh, I think it's 106. Yeah, 106. It's
okay?
on 106, and it's this dude from like Colorado. that like just sold everything he owned and bought this old golf course, and he like has, and it was all like weeds, like overgrown, and he like made it back into a golf course like completely. But dude, like, he looks like the dude from The Big Lebowski.
Fuck yeah.
He like reminds me of that, and like they used to have an indoor place. Now they just have like an outdoor place, and he makes his own vodka there. Uh, and they have like a little food truck. They're all his wife is like always behind the bar. The place is sick, but like I don't understand why like
They're
it's
a vodka
never like,
distillery?
yeah, he makes his own vodka there called Dancing Rabbit Vodka,
Dancing
but they're like
Rabbit.
super nice.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, they do like events there. They'll have like bike shows. They'll have like they do like a mushroom foraging thing every year. They have like some like little concerts and stuff.
Mushroom
Um,
foraging. Fuck, dude.
yeah, mushrooms are cool, man.
Yeah, I knew a dude that was into that. That what I forget the name of that. There's like a science to it. Mitochondria or something. I'm fucking that up.
Yeah, I don't know. I like looking at them. I think they're cool, but like I don't have the balls to like pick them and make food out of them.
Rum.
My yard is like, I always have a ton, and I'll just like go walk around my backyard and just look at them sometimes. But um, yeah, I don't have
I
the
don't
know
know.
how
It's
to.
I don't know. I'm fucking that up. Sorry, mushroom guys. But I knew a dude, and he'd be like, you go out in the forest, and he's just like, "That's poison. That's you can eat that. That's you know." I, I'm like, they look kind of the same.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's fun to walk around the woods and find them though. Little purple ones and
Yeah, dude. When
orange
I used to
ones
be,
and
I used to live down in Florida, and we get the mushrooms from the farmers. We when it rained, they'd bloom in the cow patties, the psilocybin mushrooms, and you just have to go find a cow farm, and like when it's raining, you run out there, and if they were blooming or whatever, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. We ate a bunch of cow shit mushrooms though, and some of them worked,
so it must be true then.
and they were free. But the threat was the farmers were well known for shooting rock salt at you. They'd have these shotguns, and they wouldn't want to kill you, but they'd shoot the fucking hippie kids with these rock salt pellets that apparently
Yeah,
Brendan helped.
as you do.
Yeah. Now that I'm older, I totally get it. Back then, I was like, these guys are fucking psychos. But now it's like,
Yeah,
if someone was rooting around in shit in my field, dude, I would shoot them probably with some rock salt, teach them a lesson.
yeah, yeah,
Those are my mushrooms, motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple of. We talked a little bit about the exhaust. The exhaust is fucking wild. It's like a lightning bolt. How did you, like, explain how you made these things?
So that exhaust, all the bends on the exhaust came from a Hayabusa exhaust. Some guy, I can't even remember. I think I found it on like Craigslist Marketplace, something like that. He just it was like, I have this Hayabusa exhaust. It was like a brand new Hayabusa. I don't want it. It's it's by my mailbox, and it's like inch and a half tube. Like I looked it up, and I was like, there you go. I like raced to his house, got this Hayabusa exhaust, and I cut it all up, and so all the bendy parts are Hayabusa exhaust that I just kind of like welded together in the shape kind of what I wanted. And then the straight bits were, pipes that I got from that metal supermarkets. And then I just the place I worked at the time in Woburn, um, I cut the angles on a chops like a horizontal bandsaw, and I my coworker who was like, he's a welder, that's what he did there. I can't do those welds and have them look good for the very sharp bits of the exhaust. So he TIG welded those real sharp corners in the zigzag. Um, so yeah, that's how that came to be.
Found
Everything
it.
on the bike is
I
like
just had a
anything I
tick.
could
Sorry, guys. You got
tick.
to see me rooting around over here. I had a tick on my leg with his fucking chompers on me. But
Yeah, welcome to New Hampshire.
fucker, dude, I love drowning these pieces of shit.
Yep.
Um, how does dude? So you gotta go look at the exhaust on this thing. It's pretty wild. How is the back pressure on these things? Because it's shooting out and then has to like go back and then through.
Yeah, so the funny thing is the bike it didn't care at all. Like it feels exactly as fast as it did before. I had straight pipes on it before. It
Okay.
it didn't care. It didn't even care. And it actually ran better when I put those exhausts on. And it sounds way better. Like if you ever like listen to one of those bikes on like the internet, they have this like bloop 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 bloop. Like it almost sounds like a Jetsons speeder type bloop bloop bloop. And that with those zigzags, it gives it this like I don't know, this like wow, like this crazy sound. It sounds way different than the stock, like what they would be as like straight pipes.
Dude, that's
Uh,
gnarly.
I I love those zigzags. I think those cool.
Yeah,
They're cool.
dude,
Yeah,
they're fucking
people
awesome.
don't get it. People will be like, "Oh, you're an idiot." Like that probably makes the bike
It
like so
doesn't
much.
look
You
like
don't
it
know.
should work. Like when I first saw it, I was like, that shouldn't work, right? Because they're
Yeah,
pretty the angle is pretty drastic. You know what I mean? Like it goes down, cuts back
yeah.
up,
It's like
and
a
then
like
goes up.
lightning bolts.
Yeah,
That's what it's supposed to be. Is like
that's
lightning
cool as shit,
bolts.
though. Yeah,
But yeah, the bike did not care. I think it's just like it's enough throughput that like it's not like stressing the motor at all.
yep,
But
yeah. Those are fucking sick. The other thing, what was the inspiration for the handlebar slingshot? I might
oh
steal that from
dude,
you. That looks like so much fucking fun. I think it should be on every bike.
I think that's probably the only thing on that bike that I would be really surprised if anyone's ever fucking done before. And I can't remember exactly how it came up, but I was in a sauna with like a buddy and like my wife and like another couple, and we were on some substances, and it came up somehow. We were talking about slingshots, and I couldn't wait to get home and like do that. Like it's like so stupid, but I don't know. I love it so much.
Did you already have those bars on it, or did you build the
Yeah,
bars
I
for the
had
slingshot?
those bars already.
Yeah.
Those bars like I originally like they used to be like big 8 bars that I got for like $20, and I just cut them. I was gonna make rabbit ears on out of it, but I quickly put them on the bike, and I was like, these are not like conducive to how I'm gonna want to ride this bike. Like
Yeah.
I want to go fast. And like these things are kind of like I don't know, weird. They're still silly because they're like very narrow,
Dude, they're super
but
so they're on the inside of the riser, right? So like the bar goes up and then there's a post that goes that and the
yeah.
risers hold it on the
And
outside.
the Honda handlebars, they're a little bit farther apart, like the bolts, than like a Harley. I think the Harleys are a little bit closer, so it would be like hard to do on a Harley.
Mhm.
Um, but that's just kind of like how they came out, and I thought it was gonna be like a temporary thing, but like I've kind of fallen for them. I don't know, they're just fun, different. Um,
How well does the slingshot work?
it's hard to say because I'll like shoot it at like stop signs and stuff, and you can't really tell if it hits something or not because everything's like so loud.
Yeah.
um, but
But you
yeah,
can shoot so you're riding down the road, you can shoot straight ahead obviously, but you can also shoot
yeah,
like
you
your
can
bars forward to the side and hit a sign.
yeah you can aim around with them, and I tested it like on some stuff at my house, and like you wouldn't want to shoot like your buddy.
Oh,
Like
the fucking steel ball? Yeah, dude.
you could probably like break the back window out of a car with that thing.
Oh yeah.
It's not something I've done because I don't want somebody running my ass over, but
So what is
um,
it? I guess the bars you just have to go and look and see what they're how they because they're wild, you know, but the slingshot aspect of it, you have explain like how it's set up because it's not just a piece of rubber dangling from your handlebars. It's like very purpose built.
Yeah, I just basically like, the bars. There's like a straight bar in the clamps, and then the bars come up and then just come out. So you have this like perfect little spot in the middle, and I just drilled two holes down there, put some pipes, some little like metal bits in there, and just bent them down, and just stuffed the slingshot tubes over them. And then the bottom, like at the bottom of the bars, there's a bolt that like I drilled out, and I have a lathe now, but I didn't at the time, so I just kind of like made it with the belt sander like on a drill, and like glued a magnet in there, so you can put a ball bearing on that magnet, and the slingshot hooks on that bolt,
So it's
so
not
you can just
flapping
reach
around in your
down.
face.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
keep it
reach
nice
down
and
while
tight.
you're riding, and there's already a ball there, and you can just like grab it and like pull it back and like shoot stuff like you did when you were a kid.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome to have a weapon at the ready. If someone really
Yeah.
fucks with you though, let's say someone's fucking brake checking you or something, you could just send one right to their rear window.
Yep. Yeah. You could.
There's
Most
been
most
times
definitely
when
could.
when I wish I had a slingshot on the front of my fucking bike, dude, just for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The more weapons you can have built into your bike, the better, right?
yeah, let's talk about the other weapon because this one blew me away. This one knocked my fucking dick off, dude, when you were explaining it because it was
I'm
so
really
cool. It
sorry to
was
hear that.
the fucking the sissy bar is insane. So let's just start with the sissy bar itself because it has like I guess you call it like dragon tail twists or something in it. The
Yep.
whole thing is fucking twisted. It's wicked big, and then it has a fucking bayonet in it. So just let's explain the sissy bar and how you built that.
Yeah. So the sissy bar, it's just what's it, half-inch square tube. They're like single piece top to bottom. Although it has broken a couple of times before I reinforced the hell out of it, and I had to weld it back together.
Oh,
But
it
yeah,
actually broke because it's so tall and the vibrations would actually like crack it.
yeah. And I also had one of those Coker tires, which those things are pieces of shit. It looked really good, but it was out of round, and I don't think that helped its case because it would really like jump the back of the bike around. But yeah, all that vibration like broke that sissy bar like a couple of times before I just kind of got frustrated and like welded a bunch more metal to it. Um, but I saw, I think it was like Lane Splitter that I saw like another dude that had a bayonet like in his sissy bar, and I kind of started looking it up, and it's pretty cool. Like the kamikaze pilots, like back in the day, they used to come home. They had nothing to do, so they had like all these like bike gangs in Japan, and they would like mount like knives and stuff on their bikes. You couldn't stop them. So I wanted to do something like that, but it was just one of those ideas that you get like at night in bed, and you just want to get it done as fast as you possibly can because you want to be able to sleep again. You just get one of those ideas, and it's all you can think about until it's done. So you're just like, please just finish this so I can be able to sleep. There's a lot of that kind of shit. But yeah, so it's just got like a little electric solenoid that when you turn the bike on, it works in the same wire as like the tail light, and it just pulls that solenoid out, and it's kind of like a door lock. It just kind of like pops into like a little like half moon shape on the bottom of the sissy bar, and then it has like a fake bolt that's like welded, so it looks like there's a bolt going like straight through the sword into the tail light. So like you could plausibly be like, look, it's bolted into the bike. Like if somebody was to come try to steal it, or like a cop pulled you over and was like, what the fuck, you have a sword on your bike? You could be like, yeah, but it's bolted in. Um, but yeah, that's a Japanese like bayonet. Like I think it was in the war.
Shit,
It was one of those
where'd you
eBay
find
things.
it?
Just eBay.
eBay.
They're not that much.
No shit.
Um, yeah, anything. I don't know. I'm such a cheap bastard. Like I would just like won't buy. Like the only expensive bits on that bike are like the tires.
No shit.
I mean that's what's killed me is like the tires. Like I've had just so many tires like that I've bought and that haven't worked out between that Coker tire and then I put some other car tire on it and that bike has a 15-inch rear wheel on it originally, which gives you like shit for choices for tires. So
Hmm.
I eventually uh, cut the spokes out and got another rim from some other Shadow. It's like a newer like Shadow RS I think it is has a 17-inch rear wheel. So I laced that rim onto the old hub with like you have to do like one side of the spokes of that bike double. So I don't know. I tried to make a video about it because it's not really on the internet. Um,
Even
like
a
it's on the
17
internet.
inch rear isn't that popular of a tire size, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot more options though
Yeah.
than a 16.
Yep.
Um, so it's got like some like Baja tire. I forget what's on there now, but it's a pretty gnarly tire. But the front tire too. The front tire had some like really cool looking like gnarly like on off road tire on the front, and it wore like really poorly to the point where like if you took your hand off the handlebars, the bike would start like fucking shaking around like really bad, especially if you were on the brakes, which is really bad if you have a like a hand shift because you like have to take your hand off the handlebars all the time.
Right.
um, so that was fun. So I just got like a regular road tire
Yeah. I
for the
just bought one
front.
of those
So
Coker tires. They're wicked expensive. They look cool as shit, but I've heard nothing but bad things. But I already had the rear one.
yeah,
And I set the front one I set on fire by accident when I was welding something. So I kind of deserve it. But they're expensive, and I heard that they suck.
yeah,
But
they
we'll
do.
see.
Apparently, like they don't always suck. Apparently, it's like they're old molds, and it like depends on the molds.
Oh,
Some
really?
people don't have any problems with them at all. But like back in the day, it was normal to get tires that were out of round. That's just the way that they were, and you would go to a tire shop and they'd shave the tire. Um,
Holy
I
shit.
actually I tried to shave the tire,
You did.
did not work out. I um, because you can't. No one does it. You can't get it done anymore. It's the
Sounds
stupidest
dangerous.
thing. It was so dumb. But it was like this is the only thing I could think to work, and I it's so stupid. I took a circular saw, like a hand circular saw, and I like bolted it into a piece of wood, and like bolted the tire into the piece of wood. And my thought was I could just like zip tie this thing on and like slowly like turn the tire, and it would just like kind of take the high spot off. Dude, the second that thing hit, it just ripped into the tire and the
Came
whole
right
thing
into
just
it.
like went flying around and the saw's like on like like running across the shop. So stupid.
It wouldn't have been stupid if it worked, though.
Hey, yeah. I mean,
You gotta try that
that's
shit out. I mean, it's fucking it's bunk anyways, dude. That reminds me of those. I see these videos from time to time of these like I don't know third world countries or whatever, where they just take like a wood carving instrument, and there's a completely bald tire, and they just scrape in some treads onto it.
yeah. Yeah. The tire that's on the back of that bike now, it comes like really fucking square, which is fine, but my it didn't I couldn't tuck it into my fender very well. So I just like mounted on the bike without the fender, and I like hung the bike off the back of my porch, and I just like put it in gear and let it spin, and I just held like a wood. I don't know. It looks like a cheese grater for wood, and just shaved a bunch off the and like rounded the corner of the tires off so I could like fit it up into that fender a little bit more.
No shit.
Uh, and it could have gone terribly, just like the circular saw, but it was fine. It worked.
It fits.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to ask you, it has a cool paint job on it. You did that yourself as well, huh?
Yeah, I just got that done like right before the show. It kind of put
Oh,
that
it's a
bike.
recent paint job. Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, I can't believe that that came out good at all. The whole way, first of all, I hated it. The entire time through, I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever done to like a bike. Like hated it. Like I hated the masking. I have no patience. Like I like metal. That's easy. If you fuck up, you can just like cut it, weld more shit to it. But yeah, that paint, um, and it's just spray bombs. The whole thing is just spray bombs with like 2K clear on it. Um, and it once it was like done and it looked like so good. I couldn't believe it. And I was
Yeah.
like, maybe I need to paint my lawnmower. Like
Dude.
the second it was done, I was just like, I want to do that again. Like I hated it. I hated it so much. But
Bro,
like,
I so I've done I actually don't mind doing rattle can spray like cuz it's pretty low impact, it's not a lot of setup. You spray it down and the act like if you're like the pro painters with the actual guns and the fucking chemicals and the mixing and stuff, dude. God bless your cotton socks, Dan. I could not do that again. I'm probably the next one I paint. I'm probably gonna do another rattle can job. But yeah, do that 2K clear. That shit's bulletproof, dude. I've sprayed
yeah,
it. You can use Rust-Oleum on the foot. You use whatever colors you want. I've never had an adverse reaction with it, and
yeah.
I dump gas all over it all the time.
It's
And it
the
holds
first
up.
time I ever used it. Uh, After I did it, the first thing I did was dump gas all over it, and I was like, shit.
Yeah,
But it was fine. It didn't really care.
it holds up.
I could probably like wet sand it or whatever. Um, I almost like sent Dan a message because it's like in between. So you do the I did primer and then I did the white because I wanted like in between the two colors to have like a white stripe, and then you put your hands all over it the whole time. And I tried to wear gloves, but like that masking took me forever because I'm not like an artist, so like I had an idea of what I wanted, and it was kind of almost like a copy of like another bike that I'd seen on Instagram, and I told the guy, I like asked him if it was cool if I like kind of like copied part of his. Like I like how the top is like a heart, um, but you know you
Oh, I
I
didn't even
would
notice that. That's pretty
I
cool.
would I'd tape off one side of it and like look at all the shit I didn't like about it, and then I'd tape the other side and look at all the shit I didn't like. So I just kind of like went back and forth
Yeah.
until I got to somewhere that I was like, all right, good enough, and then copied it, as good as I could, and just it gets to a point you just kind of have to like go for it.
Yeah, dude, it came out
Um,
really good. So you got like, I guess, what is that, like a teal or a seafoam or something with
yeah, I think it's
purple?
called a seafoam. I was going for like a turquoise. Um, I really like turquoise. I really like purple. Um, the idea on that bike from day one has always been like black and purple checker print, and I like very last minute decided to do that because
Oh
I just
shit.
decided it was going to be like too busy on an already like very busy bike. Um, and it came out good. It like worked out somehow. I was
Yeah.
shocked the whole way through. I was fucking shocked. Like
You can
even
you can get a good fucking rattle can paint job, you know?
yeah, it's the masking that sucks.
That's
Like
wicked time consuming, yeah. Especially with
masking.
the little lime the tiny green tape, to do the flames and shit.
Yeah,
That doesn't stick too good. So you kind of got to
yeah.
move fast.
Get good tape. It helps a lot. I tried like a handful of different kinds of tapes, uh, but like the inside, that curve on the inside of the flames.
Uh,
After doing the front flames, I then did the back flames, or vice versa. I can't remember what it was. And I spent like a good amount of time like taping it all off, and went to bed and came in the next day, and all the fronts had like peeled up.
yeah.
So I had to like cut
bro.
all the fronts off and like redo all like those edges.
Takes
Like,
forever to lay it down. Same exact thing happened the first time I did the flames, and I was like, all right, I got it all set, and I'm gonna do it in the morning or whatever, and then you come out in the morning and it's all wrinkled up and fucking hanging
yeah,
off, and you're just like, dude, that took me like 2 hours.
yeah. I mean, that's what I was expecting. Like all the way, all along the way, it's just like something to go wrong,
Yeah.
some layer of paint to like do some weird shit.
Yep.
Somehow it didn't.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, it came out great. What'd you do for the skull? Is that like a decal or anything?
Oh, that little like skull and lightning bolts.
Yeah.
So, so that kind of has a story. So like when I first got to Boston, like, kind of like the first guys that I met were like pedal like bicyclists, and it's like they just like live for that shit. And we got like really into it, and like that where it's like we were like fucking brothers, like every day we would just like get together and like scrounge like any bit of money we possibly could together and buy whatever like beer or whiskey or wine depending on how poor we were, and we would just like rip around Boston and like fucking bounce off of cars and uh, you just like felt like you like fucking owned the city. But we called ourselves Death Proof Crew, and that skull is the skull and lightning bolts off of Quentin Tarantino had a movie called Death Proof about oh, what's that guy's name?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yeah. He like drives around and like murks women in this like death proof car,
Yeah.
and I saw that movie and I just fucking fell in love with it. And it's like that movie, there's no CGI. It's like real cars
Uh-huh.
like, smashing into real cars. It just like quickly became my favorite movie. So I started the girl that I lived with at the time, she worked at a sign shop, and I started getting those little skulls cut out of vinyl, and we'd kind of like we'd all run them on our bikes, or like if somebody rode with us and they proved to be just as retarded as us, they would get a skull and lightning bolt so they could put
That's
on their
sick, dude.
bikes. Uh,
What's a pedal bike? I don't know what I'm not
Bicycle,
familiar. Just a bicycle.
about
Okay.
bicycle, yeah,
Okay. Like
yeah,
a BMX or something?
uh, you know, like fixed gear bikes,
Okay.
like wicked hipster shit.
Yeah.
Um, it was usually like road bikes, like single speed bikes or fixed gear bikes, like the no brake shit.
Mhm.
Um, I eventually like got into like once me and that group of guys, half of us like grow up and don't get along anymore or whatever happens. Some of those guys are still like, you know, my very best friends. But I kind of moved on. Like I did a lot of like bike delivery stuff, like bike messenger stuff in Boston. Always like
Okay.
as like a side gig. It was never like my main thing. But I met like a I have a lot of like really close relationships from like that kind of like formed me like who I am today is because all those like that group of people, um, which is like so now that I moved up here, I don't fucking know anybody up here, and I don't know anybody who rides bikes. So that's another thing that made that my Honda is I'm building that thing in like a complete bubble. Like I don't have anyone to like throw ideas at. No one fucking cares, which is fine. I just like get used to that like from the very beginning. No one fucking like people who like motorcycles and don't like choppers. Or like don't know choppers. They don't give a fuck about choppers. They just look at it. You're like, yeah, that's weird, but
Yeah.
okay.
They don't know what they're looking at. Yeah. They're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
How long
Um,
you been up in New Hampshire for?
I think I something like 4 years or five
Yeah.
years. I
And
originally
you're
grew
out
up in New
in
Hampshire,
you're out in Loudon?
Loudon. Yeah,
Oh, you grew up in New Hampshire.
yeah, in Salem.
Salem. Okay. Basically Bass.
Yeah, I was a pretty redneck kid though for Salem.
Oh
I
no
was like the
shit.
redneck of the school. I was
Nice,
like
dude.
really
Yeah,
into
you used
four
to you
wheeling
said
and
What? You were into building trucks and shit, was it?
Yeah, Toyotas.
Toyotas. Okay.
Like a we had a like a pickup truck, 85 extra cab pickup truck that I built with my dad. The only reason why I like ended up getting along with my dad in the first place. Um, and then that turned into like I did a couple forerunners and um, for me it was it was a way to like slow me down. Like cars you can go like too fast, where like trucks you can do anything you want in the woods. And the cops like dude, the cops fucking could see me coming from a mile away. I got so many fucking tickets.
New Hampshire
But in the
cops
woods
are
you could do
fucking
it.
pricks, dude.
Yeah, yeah, they sure are.
No inspections though now.
Yeah, thank God, dude.
That's fucking
Hooray!
dude. That's the best piece of legislation that's ever been passed in my entire lifetime.
Yep. Fuck.
Directly impacts us. Our whole community is fucking. I get pulled over 2, 3 times a year on a bike,
Yep.
2, 3 times a year in a car.
I've yeah, I've gotten a lot of tickets for like inspections and shit. I always have like a bunch of shitty cars and like a bunch of shitty bikes. I don't know. I don't even know how many bikes I have right now. They're all shitty, but I think I have like probably like 10 bikes or something like that. I
Oh
don't know.
fuck.
Um,
So
but
what's
yeah,
uh
they're
what's
they're
your
all.
next build gonna be?
I have. I don't know. I have a couple like builds that like I've started. Um, they're not choppers, but I kind of now that like I've been enjoying the chopper thing so much, like it might veer. I have a couple of Honda Magnas. Uh, and the Magna has that V4 motor, which is like really cool motor. Has the same motor as like a Honda VFR, and the Honda VFR has gear driven timing, and I don't know the way that bike sounds. It's like one of my favorite bike sounds. And so the Honda VFR has about like 100 horsepower. The Magnus have like about 80, where you can take all the shit out of the VFR and put it in a Magna, and you have that 100 horsepower. It's like a less torque. Like they detuned it to give it more torque for the Magna. Um, but you can like do things like put the front forks, like the dual brake forks from the VFR on the Magna. The VFR also has a single rear swing arm with like a 4x100 wheel on the back, which is like you couldn't put like a Civic wheel, but it's just kind of funny. It's the same like bolt pattern as like a Civic wheel or a Miata wheel or like whatever. And there's some people will put that single rear swing arm on the Magna. So I have two Magnas and a shitty VFR that I'd like to like combine. I have a Ninja 250 that like I got halfway into before I got it's just there's not enough time in the world. Um, but the 250 could be really fun. I have big bikes. I like small bikes though. I think they're like a lot of fun. Like there's for me there's just like nothing better than like just fucking full throttle, like ripping down a back road, like giving it like all she's got. Like
Hmm.
that's happiness.
Oh yeah, dude.
um,
Dude, are you
but
thinking about entering the chopper build off that we're doing?
I would if my wife was not pregnant,
Oh, congrats, dude. When's the due date?
like December.
Oh fuck. Is it your first?
Yeah, it's my first. Pretty pumped.
Dude.
Yeah, we've been trying for like a year.
Nice, dude. That's
Yeah,
life-changing shit right there, man.
yeah. I think it's gonna be fun. You know, like what else can you do? You know, we're all like nobodies. Like what fingerprint can we put on society more than like a child, another person? So
It's the best thing. It's the best thing in the world, dude. It's like,
yeah,
like there's different milestones in your life, like getting married, like big fucking deal. Like a
yeah,
child, it's not a people are like, "Oh, you're stuck for 18 years." No, dude, for the life of that child. You're their
Yeah.
dad. You know what I mean? That'll change you. That sort of shit, you know? Do you guys know if
Yeah, I
it's
hope
a girl
so.
or a boy yet?
It's a girl.
Girl, even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Best thing that ever happened to me was having a daughter because I was a goddamn misogynist before, dude.
Yeah.
Really softens you up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
man,
see how
that's
it
fucking
goes.
awesome.
Either way, it's gonna be sick. I hope she'll like that stuff. I know there's a good chance she won't, and that it's whatever. Whatever the fuck she wants to do. Just like support her in any way.
Yeah.
My plan is to just like so many people like they don't give the kid a chance to fuck up. I want my kid to fuck up. Like go fuck up and learn from it.
Oh
Like
yeah. Yeah, it's my
so.
dream to have you know, my kids do shit like I like rebels. I grew up, I was not, I was right on that line, getting in trouble, doing all the wrong things. It's made me who I am. I think I'm a better person for it. I hope my kids don't get, that's the only thing is you don't want them to get hurt, but my dream is that like my son, I got twin boys, dude. I hope they pull off some sick ass caper where they like steal some old man's tractor and take it for a joyride and they get caught and I have to be like all disappointed and be like, you boys are in big trouble, like you don't know
Yeah.
what you've done. And then secretly, after I punish him or whatever, I'm gonna go back up to my bed and I'm just gonna be like, those motherfuckers pulled it off.
Yeah.
Those sons of bitches, you know?
Have you used the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed yet?
Every day.
Every day.
I'm like with my kids too. I'm like I always aspired to be the dad from Wonder Years, Kevin Arnold's dad, where Kevin would fuck up and his dad would just look at him like disappointed and angry. That's me with my kids. So when they see me, they're like, "Are you mad at me?" And I'm like, "I'm not mad at you, just disappointed."
Yep.
Fucking them
Yeah,
up
I don't know.
real good.
My mom, she gave me a lot of freedom um, growing up. She let me be me, and I think I turned out all right. I was never like a troublemaker. It's
Yeah,
kind of like I was a little shit, but I didn't do like really bad stuff. I didn't hurt anybody or anything like that.
yeah. That's the best you can. Oh, you want to do some mild mischief, You don't want to hurt
Yeah,
people,
mild mischief.
as long as you're only hurting yourself and your chances to get into a prestigious Ivy League school or something, But who the fuck cares? That was always out
Yeah,
of
or
reach.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
or not. If that's where you want to go, do it. But if not, do whatever the
Yeah.
fuck you
I'm
want.
already planting the seed. I'm like, with my daughter, I'm like, I think you should be an electrician. They make buku bucks, dude. And it's
Yeah.
probably going to be some of the only jobs like welders and electricians and plumbers and shit that the fucking robots can't take your job?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You like do a mechanical job, like you're probably never gonna be rich, but you're gonna be all right. You know,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Skynet's coming for all our jobs, guys. It's already over.
not mine.
What do you do what do you do right now full time?
No, I'm like a maintenance guy in a factory.
Oh, no shit.
It's all right. It's very easy.
Like
Um,
that.
yeah,
Easy
I
job.
used to build in Woburn. I built like cryogenic machines, and it was fun. It was like challenging.
Cryogenics.
Yeah, it's like when you make like a small area like very very cold for science. Like materials will like act differently when they're cold. They'll slow down. So like they do a lot of like research with medicine and like microchips. Like Google, they made a quantum computer with one of our cryostats. Um, which is pretty dope.
No shit. So
Um,
it's not like freezing dead people to bring them back to life later. It's like for
nope.
no
That's,
shit.
yeah, it's just like it's typically like like the size of like a microchip. Like we zero Kelvin is when like all matter stops moving. Which is like basically theoretical. we've never achieved it. Um, I think like this might be wildly wrong, but I think like the closest we've ever gotten is like 0.03 Kelvin, and we could get pretty damn close. And then like sometimes like that would be in like a superconducting magnet where like the magnet would get so cold that the resistance of the wire would go to zero, which is also pretty sick. And you could have like a 12, 15 Tesla T 15T magnet where like, it would like yank a wrench out of your hand like 5 feet away.
Oh fuck.
Um, but I like that because it was like a lot of like very fine wiring, like work you could be proud of,
Yeah.
and you were working with the engineers and you were like, you know, a lot of the shit that they were making, you were all figuring it out at the same time, like trying to get that shit to work out. Um, so it was pretty fun. My job now, I don't hate it. The benefits are like super fucking good. Um, and it's much closer, and it's very easy. So like I have the energy when I get home during the week to like be a family, which is kind of like what we've been working towards. Um, so yeah, like we moved up here to get some land. It's not. I think we have like 5.6 acres. It's not a lot, but like it's enough. You can like rip the dirt bike or the little mini bike around. Um, we had our wedding here. I think we had like 60 people like camp on our property for our wedding. We had like a band
Hell
on our
yeah.
back porch. It's pretty sick. Fireworks. Um, but I can like shoot like guns off my back porch and shit. My neighbors just like they're cool. They don't mind.
5 acre. You're
My
not gonna
neighbor.
find fucking 5 acres. You're not gonna find a .01 acres in Boston or any of the surrounding towns there.
No.
Yeah. New
Yeah, when
Hampshire's
we
nice.
lived in
Spread your
JP,
legs. Yep.
my our landlord, who was a super fucking cool woman, she was a performance artist. So she had like a 100-day piece in the MFA. Uh, like pretty prestigious shit. And like she would travel all over the world. But anyway, our apartment that I had the backyard that I put that tent in and originally built that bike, it was like our floor and then her floor was like 2 stories, and they were right next to it. There was this like one lot piece of land with like some trees, and somebody was trying to build a house there, and the neighborhood was like fighting it, and she was like really fighting it, and she started talking about like if they build that house there, I'm gonna move, and my wife was like, we should buy this. We should buy this place. And I was like, you're on fucking crack. Like, this place is worth like
Oh
$1.5 million. And
yeah,
she's like,
dude.
no way, no way. We like looked it up. She's like, see, it's only worth $700,000, which is also like, 3 times anything we could even think about affording. And I was like, yeah, that's our apartment,
Yep.
not including the apartment upstairs and the property. So it was like 1.6 million for that like 2 unit apartment.
Nuts, dude. Absolutely
Uh,
nuts.
yeah, we lucked out with this place because I think like the guy who like owned it before, he was like kind of like this old school dude, and like all the pictures of the place were like, I think they were taken on like a cell phone. They were like terrible. It was the first house we went and looked at because we bought it in like 2022, I think. So it was tough. It was tough finding a house.
Hmm.
Uh, and it was the one place we came and looked at that was better. It was like better than the pictures. Like you get to a place and you're like, this place fucking sucks. Like the kitchen's tiny, but this place we walked in and the cabinets are old and whatever, but it's everything that we need.
Yeah.
And I got like
Yep.
some little trails that like I could work on something until I get frustrated and like go bang out a couple hot laps on whatever,
Yep.
um, in the backyard and um,
You need, man. Somewhere to go blow off some steam out back, shoot guns off the porch. That right there is worth it, to get a little bit of space. There's
yeah, I think
nothing
it's the
like
American dream.
shooting a gun out of your house, like, or off of a porch. It doesn't get any more American than that, dude.
Yeah, yeah, for a while. So I've got chickens. I think you have chickens too.
Yep.
Uh, so I couldn't stop the squirrels from eating the chicken feed. Uh, and I started just like fucking picking them off with a 22, and I would just like open my kitchen window and like be nailing them right out the kitchen window with a 22,
Yeah, 22
and
doesn't
then
even, you won't even wake the kid, the wife up. You know what I mean?
yeah, I love the 22, man. That's my shit. Like I guess I like small bikes and small guns. You can shoot that thing all day.
Oh yeah.
Um, but uh, but yeah. So then I was like, well, you can't just like throw these things in the woods. So I started like, I've never hunted. I've always wanted to, but never had anybody to take me. So I started like practicing like skinning them, and I'd like cook them up, and then I'd like feed them to the chickens. So it's like, you're gonna eat my chicken food. You are now chicken food.
Flip the script on a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
It's eating chicken food, so it probably tastes like chicken food. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a couple of turkeys, and they'll kill a rodent, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. They're pretty good for that. We have a black bear infestation at the moment. Just saw
Oof.
one today, this morning, chased it off. Yeah, they're going heavy. They're pulling off the chicken. I mean, it's black bear, so they can pull off the chicken wire like nothing.
Yeah. Thankfully, we have not had a black bear problem. We've had black bears in the yard.
Yeah,
Uh, like real fucking close, man.
yeah.
Like,
They're easy to scare off. They're pussies. So you go out there and
yeah.
yell at them and they run. Like bobcat, you got a problem. Those motherfuckers
Our
are born killers.
ours ours is we've had bobcats. We
Mhm.
had a really bad year this year. We lost like I think like 13 chickens, including our rooster who was the shit. He was like a really good rooster, a
Yeah,
little
dude.
little firecracker. The rooster, like I wouldn't have to worry about hawks. The rooster would like tackle hawks, like fucking rip
Oh,
hawks
shit.
apart. But bobcats, they don't give a shit. They'll take them right in front of you.
Yeah.
Like I
ten
was
feet
out
away, and
back
they're
like
they're fucking fast as fuck too.
yeah,
You can't even catch them.
and they don't care. They're like saucy little bastards, like
Yeah.
little attitudes on them. They'll take
Yep.
them right in front of you. I was out like building like a deck for like a second coop, and I have like my pouch on, it's all full of screws, and I'm putting screws in, and I see the bobcat like grabbing a chicken and running off with it, like probably like 50 feet away. So I just like everything I have in me, I'm just like running towards this thing, and the screws flying out of my bag, and the thing like dropped the chicken when I got like 10 feet from it, and then it stopped and like turned around and tried to get the chicken again. So there was a point where like I could have tackled that bobcat, and in my head I was like, I'm gonna fucking tackle this bobcat,
Mm.
like this guy's going down. But like thank God I didn't, because like if you tackle a
Fuck.
house cat, the house cat will fuck you up,
Oh
never
yeah.
mind a bobcat.
Yeah, dude. They're motherfuckers. I mean, like they can climb too. So like we had a lot of turkeys and chickens at one point, and if you don't get them into the coop at night, they fly up into the trees. And one night, this bobcat, he went and killed 7 turkeys, knocking
Yeah.
them out of the tree. Dude climbs up there, knocks them out of the tree, and they come back for him later. They'll kill like 7 or 8 of them, and then they'll come back and get the rest of the carcasses. They'll just make sure they're dead, and
Yep.
then they'll go and eat one, and then yeah, fuck bobcats, dude. They're hard to kill though.
Yeah.
They are
Do
fucking
you,
fast.
yeah, I haven't gotten the chance yet, and you know, I guess you're not supposed to, but do you have one of those electric chicken doors?
No,
Dude, get one. Fucking game changer.
like
One of those
automatically
like,
opens and closes.
yeah, like it has like a light sensor on it, so when the sun comes up, it'll open up, and then when the sun goes down, it'll just close.
Hmm.
It really is a game changer. Like you're like go out, and then you want to go out to dinner, but you can't because you had to get home and like shut the door for the
Yeah, yeah.
chickens. You don't have to worry about it anymore. They just
Hmm.
get let out in the morning, and they're always back in at night. I've never had a problem, and
They're
unless
really
like
good with like yeah, tucking themselves in. They know it's like
yeah,
all right, sun's going down, time to go sleep.
unless there's like something comes into the yard and attacks them, and they go up into the trees, and they'll just like hide out there. But if that happens, usually they'll be back.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, they're very entertaining. I love watching like the relationship between the like how does that happen? How does a rooster just know how to do all the rooster shit?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I guess it's like nature versus nurture. Like, there's your proof.
Yeah. They're
Like
always the first to
they,
die too. You'll have 40 fucking chickens. Maybe you have a handful of roosters. The rooster is always the first to go, you know?
yeah, our rooster Freddie, he died, defending
Yeah, they do their
a
job.
chick.
Yeah.
So
Some of them are fucking assholes and deserve to die, though. I mean, some of them are nice, though.
yeah, we haven't had a bad one yet. Freddie was the longest lasting one. We've got a baby one now, and then we have like a really old one that was kind of like a rescue. Uh, and he's a silky. He's
Yeah,
so
those are
weird.
cool. I like the little,
He's like
the
really small.
bantam roosters are cool because they're tiny, you know?
Yeah,
So they still do all the rooster shit where they, like, they make the noise and they keep watch, but they can't fuck you up, you know?
yeah, yeah. The silky, he's really small too. He has like a hard time reaching.
Yeah. Not my problem. I ain't gonna help you either.
Yeah.
All right, dude, we're at a fucking hour and 40 minutes here, but I wanna thank you. Stick around because I want to talk to you after the show real quick. But everybody follow death_resistance. Check out this Honda Shadow. We said it once, we're gonna say it again. This is exactly the type of shit we want to see in our show. Dudes doing it themselves, being creative. Like, dude, the fucking all of it. And by the way, I looked at the exhaust again. It's even wilder than when I saw it in person. I had a few fucking beers. It's even crazier than I remember it. So go check out death_resistance. Don't forget to submit your motherfucking bike for this build off if you're not having a baby this year. And get in the fucking garage. Get in trouble. Have fun.
Yeah.
Never
Anyone
stop
can do it.
chopping.
Go fuck up.
Fuck shit up. All right. Deadbeat Customs. Steve over at Deadbeat Customs is about grassroots motorcycle riders who take it upon themselves to build and customize their bike. They offer parts for all Harley-Davidson models and also custom parts for choppers, bobbers, trackers, and cafe racers. When it comes to building a custom motorcycle, they carry the best brands available. Go visit their brick and mortar store in Tewksbury, Mass, or at deadbeatcustoms.com. Remember, enter Lowlife at checkout and save some loot. Stay Strong Co. Sean Luke has been sent down from the heavens to bless us lowlifes with the greatest motherfucking hot sauce in the world. Sweet heat baby Jesus in the white pants heralds a message from God himself. This hot sauce is for your food. Keep it off your butthole. The shits, and the hotter than hellfire lowlife chopper sauce. Go to staystrongco.org today and grab yourself the holy trinity of hot sauces. Oxford Code Choppers. Chris is the original bad boy from Oxford, Connecticut. From frame restoration and repair to handlebars and hardtails. Hard parts for hard men. His hardtails are expertly TIG welded and installed in-house. Made of USA-made steel, cast axle plates, he is your man for the hardest shit to hit the East Coast since Hurricane Bob. Find him on Instagram at oxfordco.choppers. Steel City Blacksmithing. Josh specializes in handcrafted steel work right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Anything from custom motorcycle parts to hammers and tomahawks. Don't get it twisted. If it can be twisted, he's twisting it. Check him out at steelcityblacksmithing.com today. Beck Built Fab. Dustin is the plug for excess chopper parts. That's why we call him the Metric Man. Drum disc brakes, mid controls, hand shifters, foot clutch, modded worm gears, intakes, and more. He can do any fabrication job, weld repair, upholstery, or even maintenance. Check him out at beckbuiltfab.com.